How's it going, guys, and welcome back to FMSCOUT. This is ABTFM, and today we are here with a little bit of the history class. We are going to talk about the Football League founding members in FM21. So, in the 1888-89, the English Football League was formed, and there were 12 sides who made up the league, and Preston North End lifted the trophy after 22 games in that season. So in today's video, I am going to talk about these 12 teams, take a look where they are at right now in FM21, and maybe after learning their history, it will be very fun for you to manage them in the game. So before I start the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified so you wouldn't miss out any of our video. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the first team on the list. Alright, so let's start from the Premier League. So the first team on the list is Aston Villa. Well, Aston Villa, who finished as runners-up in the 1889, are currently in the top tier of English football. So having been promoted via the playoffs in 1819, Villa maintained their position in the Premier League by the skin of their teeth, mainly down to Jack Grealish. So with the board backing manager Dean Smith in the shortened off-season, the club have seemingly strengthened early on in this season. So with the signings of Ollie Watkins, Matty Cash and Emiliano Martinez clearly making a difference. So the captain of the club is Jack Grealish. The Englishman leads the side with his natural ability to play a number of positions, including on the left wing, centre and attacking midfielder. So the 24-year-old is the highest paid member at the club, but it is well deserved, with his ability clear to everyone. While Grealish's talent to bring the ball forward with his tricky dribbling matched with an elite amount of flair causes countless problems for the defender. Well, he will be a vital member of the squad to build around. Don't be surprised if some of the European club become interested in his service. So the captain, Jack Grealish. Apart from Jack Grealish, Villa have a number of talented players who can play a massive role for the club. So one in particular who stands out is John McGinn, with the Scottish international a potential partner for Grealish in the midfield, while McGinn, who provides a nice defensive balance compared to the club captain, with his tackling and positioning attributes a great asset. The box-to-box midfielder will also provide you with a secondary attacking threat with an ability to strike shots from long range, paired with an impressive finish ability for a midfielder. Well, one of the key players in Aston Villa, John McGinn. Alright, speaking of the hot prospect, Louis Barry, the English striker, has had a much different past to most English teenagers dreaming of playing football. Having begun his career at West Bromwich Albion, and then 16-year-old was signed by Barcelona. But after just 1 year, he has returned back to England and is now on the books at Aston Villa. Well, with his potential clear, Barry will be a project that, if you get right, could see him be a key man in your future side. Well, moving on to the second team, Burnley. While Burnley, who conceded the second most goals in the 1889 season, are now known for their defensive work. While since winning the championship in 15-16, led by Sean Dyche, Burnley have been up and down in the Premier League. Well, right now, in real-life football, Burnley is doing badly in the Premier League. Could you come in and turn Burnley into a European powerhouse? Well, the club are currently captained by the centre-back Ben Mee, with the defender possessing all the qualities that you should look for in a defender. A great header of the ball and the ability to mark and tackle his men successfully. Ben Mee's main downfall is his slightly undersized, but with his teamwork and leadership skill as well as his fundamentals make up for this, Ben Mee could be a key man in having any early success at the club. Speaking of the key player, having a top quality goalkeeper is vital to every team, and that is exactly what Burnley have in Nick Pope. The 28 years old, who is just coming into his prime as a goalkeeper, won runner-up in the last year's Premier League Golden Glove race, and his ability has been reflected in Football Manager as well. Standing at 6'5", Pope is a great communicator, whilst his handling, reflexes and one-on-one shot saving ability is also in an elite level. As for the young star, Dwight McNeil is a product of Burnley's improving youth academy, with the 20-year-old having a breakthrough past couple of years. The left midfielder is already a top-level Premier League player with plenty of room to be developed. An impressive dribbling ability as well as his passing and crossing talent make him a constant threat, while Dwight McNeil is certainly the youngster to build around at Burnley. So yes, consider yourself managing Burnley and bring them to the European competition. The third club on the list is Everton, while the Toffees hold the record of competing in the top division of English football with an extraordinary 117 season, missing just 4 seasons since the Football League's founding in 1889. While Everton remain a constant in the Premier League to this day, and they are a club that has always been seemingly a step away from pushing into Europe on a consistent basis. But just falling short, the Toffees ended last season in a disappointing 12th place. With some good addition, a strong core of players have been formed. Could you be the manager to take them over the hump and achieve their potential? Well, speaking of the captain, Seamus Coleman has been at Everton for 12 years right now. Since joining from Sligo Rovers in 2008, the right back has been ever present for the club despite some troubling injuries holding him back at times. Coleman, who will be 32 by October, has some fresh faces challenging for his role at right back, but he still has the quality to play the role to a high standard. A good crosser of the ball is his mental that truly stand out, with his leadership ability vital to the club. While looking at Everton, their number of players could be mentioned as Everton's key man, with the likes of Richarlison, Lucas Digne, Allen, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, all highly impressed footballers. However, one man that stands out, James Rodriguez. While the Colombian star doesn't have the physical ability he once did, but his lack of speed and strength is made up for by his incredible vision and passing ability. The attacking midfielder also possesses ridiculous flair with the ability to pull off a long shot when needed, while James Rodriguez will cause trouble for any opposing defenders. And with his ability to unlock a defense, Everton are in safe hands for the immediate future going forward. Speaking of the young stars, at least 6 players in the academic teams are already good enough to contribute to the first team. The man that could make the biggest impact in the long run being Anthony Gordon. While Gordon, who has already featured in 11 Premier League games, has tremendous potential, and with a bit of development, he could be a good rotation option on either the left wing or as a central attacking midfielder. You can play him at the right side as well as a striker if needed. So Anthony Gordon is the Everton young star. Well, moving on to the fourth team on the list, West Bromwich Albion. While West Bromwich Albion are the latest side to enter the Premier League from the originals, with their 1889 squad finishing bang on mid-table, ending that season 6th. A 6th place finish would be seen as a miracle for West Brom in this season. With the club favourites to return back to the championship, will you be the manager to keep them up? Club captain Jake Livermore is an England international with 7 caps to his name. A natural defensive midfielder, is now in his 30s and has probably seen the last of his England caps. But his impressive display in the championship last season helped see his team promoted. While Livermore is a very hard worker, isn't the most natural leader in this, but his determination to work hard for his team is obvious. He will do whatever he can to help the group win games, which could prove vital early on. Well, speaking of the key players, there are 2 players who will prove key to any survival bid for West Brom in the first season. So Matheus Pereira and Karlan Grant. Let's start with Matheus Pereira. Matheus Pereira, who is dangerous whenever the ball is at his feet, will cause problem for opposing fullbacks and sucks defenders away. And then let's talk about Karlan Grant right now. Grant is a top quality finisher, and then if you manage to get the pair working together, you may have a chance of surviving in the Premier League. Speaking of the young star, you might be thinking about Conor Gallagher. While Conor Gallagher is the clear young star of West Brom squad, but he's only on loan for the first season. So in the long run, his potential midfield partner Raheem Harper is the obvious choice right here. So Harper, who has a single Premier League appearance to his name already, playing for the club in their 17-18 campaign before being relegated, is an exciting talent. While the 20-year-old is a physical threat, standing 6'2", he also has an impressive level of flair. This match with his dribbling will allow him to be a threat from deep and add to the attack. Giving Harper game time early on could see him become an incredible talent in a few years' time. Moving on, we have Wolverhampton Wanderers. They are the final current top flight side from the originals and finished the 1889 season in 3rd place, just behind rivals Aston Villa. Well, in more recent times, Wolves have fared the best out of the group, with 2 7th place finishes since their promotion in 17-18 from the Championship. Well, could you be the manager to guide Wolves to the Champions League in this season? The current captain at Wolves is the former Liverpool Academy graduate Conor Coady. Conor Coady, with his consistency in defense, playing a major role in the club's recent rise into the Premier League. Well, Conor Coady is a perfect leader with his mental attributes impressing across the board, whilst his talent as a centre-back is very clear to see. In terms of the key player, I am going to go for Raul Jimenez. While the Mexican is a top-class finisher and has the composure to match, allowing him to coolly finish off the majority of his chances. His work rate is also phenomenal, while his penalty-taking ability is an added bonus to any team. Raul Jimenez, despite his age, has the potential to fire you into the top 4 in the first few seasons before he needs replacing. And luckily for you, that replacement is already there. Fabio Silva, a FM20 grade, signing for the club in the summer. 18 years old, Silva is already impressive physically and standing at 6'1", he will be a dominant force. He will need to be developed with some areas of his game needing work still, but the youngster certainly has the potential to replace Jimenez in a few years' time. Alright, let's now go to the Championship. While a former Premier League winner under Sir Kenny Dalglish, Blackburn Rovers haven't fared as well of late. Blackburn, who drew their opening game of the 1889 seasons 5-5 with Accrington Stanley, currently playing in the Championship following promotion from League 1 in 17-18. It is a club that still has high quality facilities, and with a squad brimming with potential, could you take them back to the Premier League days and beyond? While Elliot Bennett was a 100k signing back in 15-16 for Blackburn, and since then, he has gone on to play in over 150 league games for the club. While the club captain is now 31 and his best days technically may be fading, but he is a great leader with an impressive work ethic. Bennett is a great player to have in and around the squad, especially as a mentor for the club's future stars. Well, their key player has to be Adam Armstrong, England under-21 cap striker. He is the star at Blackburn, with the striker one of the best in the league. The 23-year-old has blistering pace, allowing him to get in and behind any defense. With his finishing ability, he won't squander many opportunities. As previously mentioned, the Blackburn squad is brimming with potential. Players like John Barkley and Lonnie Harvey Elliott could all play a major role in the squad in Season 1, with the potential to form the core of your squad in the next 5 to 10 years. But one prospect that stands out is Tyrese Dolan. While Dolan may have to rotate with Harvey Elliott in the Season 1, but Harvey Elliott is unlikely to be sold by Liverpool, so Dolan will be the main man for the future. An exciting prospect with impressive dribbling ability and an incredible work rate. Dolan has the potential to be the star in the coming years for Blackburn. We then have Derby County on our list. While Derby County began the 1889 season with a massive 6-1 win over Aston Villa. However, they then went on a 10-game winless run, with the club finishing the season in the 10th place. Most recently, Derby are famous for finishing bottom of the Premier League with a record low of just 10 points in 2007 and 8. With stagnating in the Championship since then, the club is looking to turn it around. Could you be the person to just do that? Well, the captain is the England's national team all-time top scorer, Wayne Rooney, and he is the man who will lead your side from the start following his arrival at Derby County last season. So rising through the ranks as a teenager playing as a striker, Rooney is now a natural throughout the centre of the pitch with the ability to play as a defensive midfielder all the way through to striker. Now aged 34, don't expect him to be sprinting onto through balls, but his technical and mental abilities are still at an elite level. Well, in real life, he is currently the manager of Derby County, but in FM21, he is still a player that you can play on the pitch. Alright, choosing Rooney as the key player is the obvious choice, but Jordan Ibe could be a top player for the team as well. So Jordan Ibe, who was once tipped for big things, has struggled since his move to Bournemouth from Liverpool in 2016-17 and eventually made his way to Derby on a free in this summer. Still only 24 years old, the winger still has the potential to grow into an impressive player, and with the right development, you could have a bargain of a player on your hands. So Jordan Ibe will be the key player of Derby. The young star for Derby has to be Louis Sibley. Well, I'm not sure whether I pronounced his name correctly or wrong, but the 18-year-old Englishman bursting onto the scene last season. The central midfielder could provide the running for Rooney, but he will also provide a second option with his own impressive attributes from the start. A talented dribbler, Sibley also has the ability to strike a shot from long range to potentially catch the opposition goalkeeper off guard. So Louis Sibley is the young star in Derby County. Next up, we have the winners of the 1889's First Division title, as well as repeating the feat the following season. While Preston North End haven't won the English Top Division title since the 1890 season. They are currently playing at the Championship and has not been in the top tier for almost 60 years. Preston had a bright start to the oldest league in the world football, so can you take them back to their glory days? Having played through numerous stints at the club, Paul Gallagher is the club captain at Preston North End. The 35 years old doesn't have the physical ability you would want in a player anymore, but he still has the technical ability of a top quality midfielder, especially at the Championship level. As for the key player, having come through the Manchester United Academy before signing for Preston in 15-16, Ben Pearson is the standout talent at the club. Since his arrival, the midfielder has been ever present and at age 25 could be considered a Premier League talent. But his talent is known by other clubs too. Premier League clubs will almost certainly be sniffing around your key man. So can you keep a hold of him and keep him happy? Ben Pearson, the key player for Preston North End. As for the young star, we have the academy graduate Josh Earl, the youngster to pin your hopes on from the start, with the left back having the ability to start already at just 21 years old. Mentally, he still needs to develop, which is to be expected with a young player, but physically and technically, he certainly is ready for Championship football. Stoke City finished dead last in the 1889 season, winning just 4 of their 22 games. While in recent years, Stoke City has been more successful, being a Premier League side for 10 years from 2008 until 2018, but have struggled since being relegated to the Championship. 2 underperforming years have hurt Stoke's odds of promotion, but can you get them back up to the Premier League? Ryan Shawcross is a man well associated with the club, joining them 13 years ago. While the club captain is 32 now, but still a dominant centre-back who can do a good job in the Championship. It will be his leadership ability that makes him most valuable to you, especially with a number of talented young defenders coming through the ranks who could learn from him. As for the star man at Stoke City, is surprise summer signing John Obi Mikel. Yes, the former Premier League and Champions League winner with Chelsea signed for the second-tier club on a free transfer. While John Obi Mikel is now into the twilight of his career, aged 33, but his incredible natural fitness means he hasn't fallen off and is still a great talent. With years of experience, his mental are on an elite level and will have the quality to win points on his own in your first season. Well, as previously mentioned, there are plenty of talented players coming through the Stoke City ranks, especially at the back. But the piece to build around is that of Nathan Collins. Well, Nathan Collins is 19 years old and has 17 first-team appearances and will be battling both Shawcross and James Chester for a starting role next to Kevin Wimmer this season. So yes, maybe you could develop Nathan Collins into your first choice centre-back. Alright, so now we are all the way down to League 1. Accrington Stanley, having been one of the founding fathers, left the first division in 1892-93 and since then, they haven't reached the second tier of English football. However, the club pulled off an incredibly unlikely promotion to League 1 in 17-18 and then stay up in the last two seasons. With a lack of resources compared to some teams playing at the same level, expectations are low with survival the immediate goal. So, can you take over Accrington Stanley and bring them back to their glory days? A former Ireland under-21 international, Seamus Connolly, captains the League 1 side, having made the move from Sligo Rovers in 2014-15. It is obvious why Connolly is a skipper. With his leadership ability, leading from the front, Connolly will likely be your starting central midfielder too, with the club coaches valuing him highly as well. Rose Sykes, again, I'm not sure whether I pronounced his name correctly or wrong, made his breakthrough age 19, starting 20 league games for the club in 18-19 and has since then cemented his place as the number one centre-back at the club. While he is still young, aged only 21 and has the potential to be a good player at the level above. A centre-back with good physical ability plus the key attributes, he will be a vital player in any survival and the potential rise through the leagues in years to come. As for the young star, Toby Savin stands out as the brightest hope at Accrington Stanley. With the goalkeeper, the club number 2 behind lonely keeper Nathan Baxter, Savin, who at his 19 is very young for a goalkeeper and will have years to develop before he hits his peak years. Standing 6'4", he has the height required and with some development, he could be in the side for a number of years. Alright, here we move to League 2. Bolton Wanderers average exactly a point a game in their 1889 Football League season, scoring the third most goal with 66. The club have been a prominent members of English First Division throughout their history, most recently and memorably under Big Sam Allardyce, having finished 6th in the Premier League in 2004-2005. Bolton couldn't reach the same heights with relegation in 2011 and 12. The club has suffered 4 relegation in 8 years, now playing in League 2. Unlike the majority of clubs, Bolton's club captain is a new arrival from this season, Anthony Sarcevic. The midfielder who scored 10 goals for Plymouth last season joined Bolton on a free and has been made captain immediately. A hard-working central midfielder, Sarcevic is also the highest paid player at the club, but he has the ability to put in some top quality performance at League 2 level. As for the key player, former Premier League defender Alex Baptiste will be the key man in the first season at the club, with his experience playing a vital role in the quest for promotion. Despite now being 34, Baptiste is more than capable at this level and should provide a solid base to the team, helping them to keep the clean sheets at the back. Not as quick as he once was, his positioning and mental attributes will balance him out and allow his ability to shine. Well, as for the young star, Dennis Politics certainly has the potential to be a star in the future for the club. However, an injury will keep him out for up to 16 months. Therefore, to begin with, all focus should go into developing Ronan Darcy. While Ronan Darcy, one of the few members of the squad to have played in the championship at Bolton, Darcy is an attacking midfielder who will provide flair from just behind the strikers, and with some improvement, he should be an incisive passer. Alright, we are all the way down to Vanarama National League, and this is the last club on the list, Notts County, who is known as one of the oldest football clubs in the world. They were until a couple of years ago the oldest football club in England. However, relegation outside of the Football League for the first time since it was founded in 1889 ended that run. Notts County currently playing in the Vanarama National League, with COVID-19 cutting their promotion push last season short. Will you be able to push them from the second lowest tier available in the game right back to the top? A one-time capped Irish international, Michael Doyle, captains the club. Having just turned 39, Doyle doesn't have the same ability he once did that made him a constant championship and League One quality player. However, he does have the experience of a 22-year career with a strong leadership ability and first-team ethic. Speaking of the key player, Dutch winger Enzo Bergwijn is the key player for Notts County, with 27-year-old joining the club for 150k in 1819. Since then, he has played 73 games for the club, scoring 13 goals, and he will be vital to any promotion push this season. With his pace and dribbling ability, a potential cause for concern for any opposition fullback, Enzo Bergwijn is your key player in Notts County. Alright, so these are the first 12 teams who made up the league back in 1889. So let me know in the comment section down below if you are going to manage one of the team in FM21. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and I am ABTFM, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.